Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen Nielsen. I'm the Associate Vice President of Admissions here at Roberts. And today we have some really special guests joining us for Athletic Discovery Day. So I'm going to have them introduce themselves to start. Tell us your name, where you're from.
Hi, I'm Brynn. I'm a pole vaulter here at Roberts from Houston, Texas. Hi, I'm Jenn Suhr, and I'm a coach here, and I'm from Fredonia, New York.
A little bit more about who they are. Both Olympians. Brynn is heading to Paris this week. You're watching this, and this is the day she's actually competing at the Olympics. Jenn competed in the Olympics and still holds a record for pole vaulting. And Jenn's Brynn's coach. So we're going to talk a little bit today about their relationship. All right. So I want to start with the fun stuff. I think this is the stuff that probably everybody wants to know. We've watched your Olympic trials, which was so exciting. I would love to know, what was the first phone call you made after qualifying for the Olympics, and how did that go?
So, most of my family, friends, everyone was actually there watching, so they got to see in person. But I think the first phone call that I made afterwards was actually my high school coach. He called me, so I got to call him back, and he was so proud telling me that everyone there was watching, so that was really exciting.
Oh, that's awesome. What about how did you treat yourself after qualifying? Is there a favorite, did you splurge on anything, a favorite food? How do you celebrate?
Yeah, so right afterwards on our way to team processing, we picked up pizza and Voodoo Donuts. So I had a pink sprinkled donut and some pizza.
Awesome, awesome.
Special pizza though. Yeah, because the tradition every time I went after when I qualified for the Olympics was Tracktown pizza. And so that was my tradition, and then we brought it to her. So it was specifically Tracktown pizza.
What are the toppings on the pizza?
I think we just had pepperoni.
Okay, awesome. Basic, perfect. Okay. So, Jenn, going along with those moments that were awesome, Jenn, you were in the stands. We saw your great video that you recorded of the jump. What was it like in the stands for you?
Oh, man. First of all, for her to come out and pass those heights and make it first attempt and a PR and the Olympic standard, that was a huge jump. But now we had to wait and we had to see how the places played out. And I think it was when we learned that she took third and she was going to the Olympics, that was crazy, more to see her emotions. It literally was just, watching someone just break down because everything came true, that was special. To be able to watch that in person and see her mom and her sister was crying. Just that, and my husband, who never gets emotional, was crying. And so we were all just thrilled for her, but also know the sacrifices that she did and how hard she's worked for all of it.
Amazing. Were you crying?
Yes, I was definitely crying. I was standing right next to them actually when I realized that I made the team. So both of them kind of grabbed my shoulders and turned me around, and I was just tears.
I saw the picture.
We have video.
Oh, you do?
Yes. So Bridget, who won the meet, her dad was taping and sent us the video of that moment.
That is so cool. How did you guys know, when did you know it was possible for you to make it to the Olympics?
It actually wasn't until it happened. I think I honestly had doubts the whole time. I didn't feel like it could necessarily happen to me. Now, her and Rick kind of had been telling me as I was getting closer to the meet and the day of the meet, this is possible for you, but I don't necessarily know if I believed it until it actually happened. I was just trying to listen to them, basically, and take the confidence that they had and bring it into myself.
Okay, so let's journey back. So that's at the trials. Let's journey back. How did you guys first meet, and what was your first interaction as a recruit, coach? How did it go initially?
Actually, the first time I saw her, she was in high school. I trained in Texas, and her coach that she called, her first phone call, actually brought them to the facility I was training at because it sold poles too. So he brought them there to buy poles, and we took a group picture. And she was in high school at the time. What were you, a junior then, maybe?
Yeah, I think I was a junior.
And then she went to Texas Relays and saw me jump when later on that year, or maybe it was the following year. So it's kind of like this weird connection. So I followed her through Duke and just, knew of her. And then when she went in the portal and I got the job here, I was like, all right, I'm going to take my shot. We're going to reach out and see what happens.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Little did you know in high school that was going to happen.
Yeah, I never would have thought I'd actually be training underneath her in high school. I just wanted to go watch her jump.
That is so cool. So at that point, you were still training, professionally, you were training down there. Okay, awesome. All right. When did you know? So you guys met, you started recruiting. When did you know Roberts was the right fit?
Immediately, first phone call. She kind of explained what her vision was for the team and stuff, and I knew that was something I wanted to be a part of, so I immediately knew I wanted to come here.
Awesome. Did you think that too? First phone call, you guys were ready to take the
I mean,
leap?
that was my first phone call recruiting in general, so I don't know what I might have said because I was just as nervous. I had no speech planned. I don't have like a blueprint of what I was doing. So it was, I mean, that was the first one. And I mean, looking back at it, I was like, wow, I must have said something good, but I don't know. I was nervous. I'm pretty sure my voice was shaking.
Oh, that is really cool. All right, how has your coach athlete evolved over time? And like what key moments have defined your guys' the evolution of your relationship as like coach athlete?
I feel like I can read her pretty well. Like I can tell what she's feeling before, and I don't know if it's because a female or because I was in the position or because I'm just maybe that's a trait. I don't know, but I feel like I can read her pretty well and what she's thinking or, you know, good mood, bad mood, motivated, not motivated. So I kind of know what to push that day. I mean, it was like rollbacks. Neither one of us wanted to do it that day, but we pushed and then ended up PRing. So I think, you know, being able to read her through the years, not years, but through the months has helped.
Yeah. What would you say?
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I'm not always the best at like expressing my emotions and stuff, and sometimes I'll walk into practice and she's like, "Why are you in a bad mood?" And like she knows I'm in a bad mood before I already know that I'm in a bad mood. So I feel like that helps though, because in the past, like coaches and stuff, I've struggled with opening up, but the fact that she can read me so well, it gets me to open up. So I feel like that's brought us a lot closer in both in all types of relationships, like coach athlete and like friends.
Okay, can you describe, Brynn, can you describe a specific instance where you felt like Jen's guidance made a difference in your performance or your mindset?
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot. Just like the most recent, going back to trials, there was a lot of parts of it that I hadn't experienced before. Like there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes. It's a really big meet. You have to go back to call rooms. There's different times you need to warm up and stuff. And so having her be able to kind of walk me through that before I have to go in there, I almost feel like I've experienced it before, which can help like relieve a lot of anxiety and stuff.
Perfect. Okay. So now I want to ask you both separately because you have different stories here. So the question is why Roberts? And Jenn, I want to start with you. You were at Roberts before, obviously, you had this great, amazing professional career. Why'd you come back to Roberts?
Well, in the beginning, I chose Roberts for basketball. So I was a basketball player for 4 years and started pole vaulting my senior year in college. And I came back for my master's for 1 year. I remember choosing Roberts because when I visited, you know, this is for undergrad, I visited and I felt welcomed instantly. Like I didn't feel like I was competing with the other girls on the team. I didn't feel like there was drama. I didn't feel like it was toxic. Like I felt like I instantly belonged. And I remember like there was like landscaping and the flowers were blooming, and I don't know why I remember this because I'm 18 years old, but I just remember it looking very pretty. And I was like, wow, this looks like kind of an extension from my home growing up. Like I could be comfortable here. And coming back, it was almost for that. I know the culture that makes a pole vaulter, and I know the support that's needed, and I know that the atmosphere has to be right in order to have success, and Roberts has that. And I knew I was going to get the support here, and I knew that kids are going to thrive, and not everyone's going to be an Olympian. Not everyone's going to be the best ever, but the problem is that you need that environment to be the best version of yourself. And so that's what I try to teach the kids coming in. Like, you can work hard, you can excel in the classroom, you can excel with your sport, but you have to be the best version of yourself.
I love that. What about you, Brynn? Why Roberts for you?
So I already did my undergrad back at Duke, and then I had more eligibility, and I really just wanted to continue vaulting. I wanted to go somewhere where I felt like I could jump the highest that I possibly could. And a big reason that I picked Roberts was because of Jenn and because of the culture that she described, the culture that she wanted to create in the team. I just felt like it was a place that I would be fully supported, fully comfortable, and could jump the highest that I possibly could.
And that's been the reality for you, right?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. Okay. What would you, so kind of thinking on that, what would you say, we have prospective students joining us today, in person, we're here recorded. But what would you say to someone on the same journey, looking at doing, athletics in college, considering Roberts? What advice would you give for this journey?
It's definitely important to make sure that you mesh well with not only the coaches, but also the other athletes on the team and the school as a whole. When I came here, I felt extremely supported. Everyone around me seemed to be wanting to get better and wanting to help me be the best that I could become. So I think finding a community that you feel will really support you is one of the most important things in looking for a college, and especially a college when you're looking to do athletics there.
Awesome. Jen, what about you as a coach? What advice would you give to prospective students on this journey of looking at athletics in college and considering Roberts?
Definitely meet the team. I think meeting the team, meeting your teammates, watching a practice. Any recruit that comes, I want them to watch a practice, and I want to watch them to see how I coach. I want them to see how we interact. I want them to see how the other athletes are, how practices go, what we work on, what we focus. I think that's important because like I said, it's just everyone has different goals, and some people might choose a program because it's just an accessory, and some people might choose a program because they want to be the best they can be, and that matters with the intensity and your dedication.
Now, Brynn, you've competed on other stages. You mentioned Duke. You were D1 prior to coming to Roberts. So you've kind of seen different environments and what these different stages look like. What was different? Like, what were the differences this year competing D2? I mean, I think you could share, like, what was good, what was bad, what was different for our prospective athletes to know that might be considering something similar.
So, I mean, across divisions, you can find competitiveness, especially in an individual sport like pole vault is. I feel like it didn't really make a difference whether I was competing at a D1 or a D2 meet. You can find like big competitive meets in any of them. What I think was the biggest difference was finding a place where I felt supported. As I kind of mentioned before, that was more important to me than the type of stage that I was on. And I found that I've jumped a lot better no matter if I'm at a small local meet or a meet on a really big stage, that having that support system behind me helps me a lot more.
I have like one more kind of fun question. I don't know what I've been noticing when I watch the trials. I see all these Olympians who have gone to the Olympics. They have the tattoo of the rings. Are you going to get a tattoo? I'm just curious.
Definitely. We've already kind
After,
of,
is it a before or after thing? How do people do it?
I'm going to do it after. We've already
After.
kind of been brainstorming locations and stuff of where I wanted and what exactly I wanted to look like, but I feel like I got to do
Is that
it.
the thing what every Olympian does generally?
Yeah, it took me a long time. I got mine only like 2 years ago. Yes. Yeah, I had never had a tattoo before, and yeah, right here. So and so I was like, oh, I don't know, and so I was like Pinterest. I was going crazy with what design I might want and where's the location is big. Do you want a color? Do you not? The size. So that's a big decision.
Awesome. Are you going to do it colored or are you going to do the black rings? What are you
I
going to
think
do?
I'm going to do black. I just can't decide if I want it on my forearm or on my bicep yet.
Awesome. Yeah,
That's what
gotta
I'm
show it off on
choosing
the arm.
between.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I know you guys are super busy preparing. We are wishing you the best of luck in Paris. We'll be rooting for you, praying for you. We're excited to see everything that happens. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you.